Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Miles Morales vs Morbius set. This is a LEGO Marvel set, so it is the LEGO Marvel Miles Morales versus Morbius. A lot of M's. This is split into like two main sections, the car and then the good bit. So, let's take a look at the car first, just to get out of the way, and then we'll look at the figures in just a sec. So this is Miles Morales' car. You can technically use it as Morbius's as well, depending on some things that you can alter. I will touch on them a little bit later. Now, just looking at the general aesthetic, this is really nice. I'm normally not a big fan on like the oversized car, bike sets. I definitely feel like they're often just a bit meh, and you usually just get them for the figures. This one you do get for the figures, but the car is also a nice addition. I really like how they've done these headlights and this kind of like spider fang system here. I think that's quite nice. And then if we can get a look from the top down, if I turn it on the side, if it will focus, you can see that it looks quite nice from the top down view. The stud shooters just randomly being a grey block there isn't ideal. They definitely should have done them in black, because I believe they do these versions of stud shooters in black, don't they, for Batman? I might be thinking the old ones, but you know, I mean, they're just stud shooters. You can easily take them off just like that. And I think they do add to the looks. Quickly, now if you look at it, it does look a bit weird here. But they are easy to take on and off depending on what you prefer. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion on the stud shooters incorporated in this set. We will take a look at the next bit, which is the kind of back section. Now you've got a bit of a funky design where it's using these web pieces in trans blue from the web parts pack, which I'll touch on again a little bit later with Miles. And one of the crystallized blade pieces, or like large crystal pieces on a Technic piece, so you can angle that up more or flat down. Can't go lower than that, but I think any lower would end up dragging along the floor and you'd end up like lifting the back. You do kind of have this awkward section where it's kind of hollow back here. You can slightly lessen it by lowering that, and that does look quite nice. And this spoiler can also be adjusted slightly, so you can raise it up and, you know, kind of depending on where you want to look at it from, because that's quite an interesting look. Or if you want to raise it up but like keep it flat, that's also an option. I think my ideal way to pose it is like that. I feel like it's just a nice slope leading from the back of this red plate and then just up there like that. Perfect. Now, this piece here on the front is a print, not a sticker, which I do really appreciate. Definitely quite cool for mocks, depending on what kind of things you'd want to do. And I touched on it back here when I was adjusting this, but you can remove this red piece. And inside are some things for Miles. You've got these spray canisters for spray paint. Got a blue one here and a yellow one here. I think you can use these as either like nitrous or, I don't know, something else, but you know, they're there if you want to, and that just leaves an empty space inside there, and then you can just replace that. Now, the kind of last detail of this car, before we talk about the transformation, I guess, is removing the cockpit, which was in a nice trans red colour. Quite a big fan of that. Again, if it will focus up, quite a useful piece for other builds. The interior is nothing special. There's literally just a steering wheel. Oh, and 2 gauges on either side, which are kind of nicely integrated with this curve. Quite like how they are integrated there. I just don't like the colour scheme on the inside. I always feel like the tan seats always just look a bit weird. You know, I've never seen a car with this colour for seating. The interior is nothing special, but it does hold a minifigure, which is all it really needs to do. And with the cockpit on, you can't even tell the colour, so, you know, I am literally just really nitpicking here. And if I can attach the cockpit, which is very easy to put on and take off, you can see what Miles looks like in there. Kind of an interesting filter for Miles, I think. You know, kind of adds like this nice level of extra colour, I guess. And it's very simple to do. Now we'll talk about the alterations that you can make to this set for Morbius. So this isn't official. I literally just saw an Ash and Flash review of this set, and he pointed it out, but the general shaping for this and colour scheme could easily be used for a Morbmobile. If you remove this front piece with the print, you can then replace it with maybe some red to bridge the gap here and create that classic V shape, like a certain person's collar, and then add a curved black tile there, black carved plate. I think that could end up looking quite nice, and then these can be kind of seen as fangs rather than like spider teeth. Yes, they are also fangs, but you guys know what I mean. One thing that I will say is the back two webs, this one and this one, do come off quite a lot, just while messing around with it, which isn't ideal, but hey, it's one of those things. Now, I've never seen anyone actually modify this, so I think Ash and Flash does it in his video actually, but like, I can't be asked to modify it, because honestly, the car is just a nice car, not the main draw to the set. The main draw to the set is the figures. So looking at the two figures of the set and the two bats, we'll get the bats out of the way first for Morbius. You can either use these as bats that are like following him, or Morbius when he transforms into a bat, you know, being vampire and all. Just classic bat pieces. We've had them for a while. They're nothing amazing, but also still pretty nice and hold up to this day. Now, for Morbius and Spider-Man themselves, Morbius has these two flask pieces, which I will take a look at. And I feel like these are quite fun builds as well. I've never seen flasks done in this way, where they've got a clear trans red piece and a clear trans red stud. Two containers of liquids. One's probably blood, the other is probably Thanos blood, you know, purple blood. I don't know, use your imagination. Anyway, for the pieces, you know, they are, again, just really interesting builds. And the figure himself, I think, is quite nice. The torso printing is nice. The leg printing doesn't exist, so can't really comment on that, but I think it does look kind of good. The print quality for the torso isn't the worst I've seen. I have seen it where, you know, it's been like pretty much just grey, but the white on the torso is a little bit faded, especially compared to the head mould, but I've seen worse, as I said. It's not the worst that they could have done. And then on the back, again, just some very simplistic detailing, but still quite nice, and nothing I can really complain about. So Miles comes with these web pieces. Two of the web pieces were used in the spider car, which, you know, I've pointed out earlier. It came with a whole web set, as we usually do, where they're usually in white, but these ones are in blue, and I believe we've had these in 2 other sets. But they look good here, you know. I feel like the builds are still quite nice. And the figure himself, if we take away his webs, also looks quite nice. This is technically exclusive. I feel like it's a bit of a downgrade from what we've had before. I'm glad to see that we've got red hands again, because I remember before they were black all the way, but definitely prefer the new hands. But I do wish that the webbing was red again. Bring back that 2015 Miles. It was so good. Why did they have to change it? Yeah, the front printing is good, and so is the back printing. I don't know if we've seen this spider print before for the logo, but I feel like that is probably one of the best Spider-Man logos that they've done for a while. I really like how that's incorporated. I could really imagine like this bit of red continuing all the way over to the shoulders, and kind of like patching the gap between all of that. I really like how that's done. But yeah, I just wish that the webbing was also red, because I feel like grey is a bit meh. It doesn't really pop as much as I wish it would. So because it is just a car with two figures, it's kind of hard to come up with a display or really a play theme for it. You know, you can kind of come up with something. You know, Miles is dealing with Morbius after he's stolen some blood or something. I don't really know. But honestly, people are literally just going to get this for the figures. Morbius especially. I really like the Miles. As I said, would have preferred the red printing for the webs, but, you know, it is what it is. I still like the rest of the detail on the figure. And then Morbius is quite nice as well. Again, nothing too stand out about him, but it is a nice character to finally have in LEGO. Yeah, the build itself was fun to put together. You know, it looks good from most angles other than the back, mainly. It looks a bit off. But, you know, it's a good £20 set, I'd say. There's nothing too special to comment on. Again, mainly the figures. So I think that's all I'm really going to say about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, all of that usual stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.